Warning, STS Radio contains vulgar people, vulgar language, and vulgar ideas. If any of this offends you, kindly blow it out your ass.
Son of a bitch bastard!
Let's start this again. Shall we? Jesus Christ.
You're fucking retarded.
Hey, Pickle-Licker, wanna play the right intro?
One more time!
Are you ready?
Oh yeah. What's going on, everybody? Andrew Moss with you, always STS Radio. With me as always, Bruce Motherfucker Gates.
Hey.
That's kind of like a Yogi Bear thing, like, hey.
Thought I'd change it up a little.
I got me a picnic basket.
I got me a podcast.
I got me a picnic podcast.
Hey, boo-boo. Yeah, Park Ranger's back at it again. Let's go shit in his hat.
That would be the greatest Yogi Bear episode ever. If he's like, hey, boo boo, let's go shit in Ranger Smith's hat. Just see him like just giggling behind a bush.
Hey, boo boo, let's go make mischief, right?
What are we gonna do, Yogi? Hey, we're gonna shit in the Ranger's hat. I'm gonna shit in his hat, and you're gonna tickle his balls. Hey.
Why would he tickle his balls while someone else is shitting in his hat? That's so strange.
Why would he shit in his hat?
Just to piss him off. And because he's a bear.
Well, I don't imagine you'd be too happy if a bear is tickling your balls either. So
I wouldn't be too happy if a bear was shitting in my hat either.
Look, if a bear's shitting in my hat, I'm just walking away saying, "All right, man, fuck it, it's your hat, it's your hat."
Yeah, that's all yours, sir.
That's
Or
it, man.
Not to be sexist.
Oh man, so how you been, sir?
Pretty good, considering.
Yeah, bears haven't been shitting my hat, so I can't really complain either.
Exactly. No one's stealing my picnic basket. No one's shitting in my hat. I'm pretty good.
There we go, man. There we go. That's what the fucking Yogi Bear movie should have been.
Let's make the Yogi Bear movie about that.
We don't need an hour and a half. We just need like 10 minutes.
Yeah, really. Just short.
Just Yogi Bear just stars in like a Jackass remake.
Ding 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 ding.
I'm Yogi Bear, and this is Jackass.
Gee, Yogi, what are you gonna do with that big pile of turds? I'm gonna smash it in your face.
Hey, this is called the hat shitter.
Bottoms up.
Fucking A, man. That's
is
what
that cartoon still on? Fucking Yogi Bear?
Yeah, I think on like that Boomerang network thing that they got going on.
Boomerang?
Yeah, they'll basically show like the old school like cartoons like Flintstones and and all that shit like the Jetsons.
So it's like the Nick at Night of cartoons?
Basically. It's like Cartoon Network.
Nick at Night is gone too.
Yeah, but it's basically like Cartoon Network but for like older cartoons. You know what I'm saying?
Right on.
Yeah, like all that Hanna-Barbera shit.
Of course. He-Man?
Yeah. What?
He-Man?
No.
No.
Not that I know of. But
well.
I think they're making a new He-Man movie, which
like live action or cartoon?
Probably live action.
That's awkward.
Well, considering
Did
the last
Dolph
one,
Lundgren play him?
I hope not.
I think so.
He did play him, and it was fucking embarrassing. But
that's what I'm saying.
But you know what, man? As far as I'm concerned, that was kind of like washed away with his role in the Expendables. I thought he was really good in that, so I was like, all right, man, we'll wash this one from your record, but don't do it again. Dude,
They
that's
announced that they're making a new He-Man movie and Dolph Lundgren signs up. You're like, fuck.
dude,
You promised.
no, dude, that should be our fucking movie. Dolph Lundgren is Yogi Bear.
It's Yogi.
Dolph Lundgren just shits in everybody's hats.
I poop in your hat.
We'll just take dude, fuck it, that's it, man. The Expendabears, that's what it is, man. We'll take like Yogi Bear, we'll take one of the fucking Care Bears, just like all these cartoon bears and just like recast them as like, the Expendables. I'd watch it.
Oh, Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, fucking Teddy Ruxpin, Ted. Fucking all of them.
Why not?
Why not, man?
An army of fucking bears. Shitting in hats. That's
Just
all
for-
they do. They don't cause any other harm. They just shit in hats.
And just for good measure, we'll just have Mark Wahlberg in there.
Why not?
Why not? He'll be the only, like, he'll just do his typical thing of like, hey, so where are we going? Yeah, where he's kind of like out of breath, kind of hyperventilating, not knowing what the hell's going on. Like, so guys, we're gonna do this? What? I don't know. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. What are you doing? What are we doing here?
You're making him sound kind of like, I don't know, like a mobster or something. I don't know what's going on.
What's going on? I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
Hey, what the hell? No movie role for me?
Oh God.
I'm a big teddy bear myself. Shibuya! That's my new catchphrase.
Is it really?
No.
I'm gonna shit in your hat, Shibuya.
Hey, look at this. Bear shit in a park ranger hat? That's 300 bills right there.
All day long.
I just took a wow factor in the park ranger's hat.
Oh shit.
This is why I love doing those podcasts. I can crack all these jokes and not even fucking worry.
The places that our minds go.
I know. They really should be replaced. Is there a warranty on our brains or something, man?
I don't think so.
One can only hope.
Oh man. Hey, boo boo. That's the wow factor right there.
Oh man. Hey, boo boo, broken lawnmower. That's about $500 right there.
All day long, Yogi.
That's the wow factor, Yogi.
Boo Boo's like what was his name? Brandon, the son?
Yeah.
Brand-
Yeah, Brandon Sheets, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Good one, Daryl. Shut up, boo boo. Wow, he did a good job today. I'm gonna let him order off the big boy menu today. You know what's funny? I haven't even watched that show in like 2 years.
Yeah, me neither. Seriously. I think once like Dave left, it kind of got a little less fun.
Yeah, but I mean, you could kind of tell it was kind of like scripted and whatnot, because I mean, like,
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, the guy Barry buys a locker for $1, and like nobody else is fucking bidding on it. Like, all right, that's strike one right there. And then he finds some mask that somebody was just like, oh yeah, this thing is worth about $500. Like, you're fucking kidding me. Come on, man. Like,
I found this really rare thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I found this locker full of, a bunch of horse shit, but here's something that's worth about $2,000.
Like, how would that happen?
Yeah. And plus, I mean, you watch the show, and it's only them winning the lockers. Do you ever see anybody else winning a locker? Like, anybody that was in the crowd? No.
No.
Yeah. Like, you maybe see somebody bid, like, oh, $500. Hey, $500.
How are you gonna shit in your head?
All right, I got $500 for shit in the hat. I got $500, $550 for the shit in the hat. $500, $600, $700 for the shit in the hat.
But But seriously, that show actually would have been more interesting if there were no stars and if they just whoever wins, like they interview them after they win.
Yeah.
And they I mean, or they just follow that person and show them like breaking down the locker and like going through it, seeing what's in it and what they think it's worth and shit like that, and and then keep the good ones. Obviously they have an editing crew, edit together the good ones and put that on TV.
Yeah.
Why does there have to be like 5 people as the main cast?
Here's what I would do though. here's what I would do, is I would have 2 hosts of the show. I would have Daryl and I would have Brandy as the hosts of the show. Just kind of like, hey everybody, welcome to Storage Wars. Who's ready to fucking battle? Then Brandy's just pretty much there for eye candy. I know it sounds sexist, but I mean, what other reason was she on there anyways? Other than to be a fucking annoyance. That was pretty much it. Like, every time Jared would bid on a locker, oh, you got a bad locker. If he found something that was worth like $500 and made over the amount of money of the locker, oh, you just got lucky. She starts bidding on it. This is a good one. This is a good one. She loses money. Well, it was a good locker to me. It was a good one for me. Okay, we can make money on this. It's like, shut the fuck up.
I believe that one of the things also that Dave alleged was that it wasn't only the things inside the lockers that were fake, but also certain assets of certain members of the cast that were fake.
Wait, so her tits were fake?
Is that really a shock to you?
She wasn't really stacked to begin with, so I was just like, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
But I mean, then again, how would he know that information if her tits were fake?
I don't know, but supposedly, I guess like his alleged, theory or whatever is that like the show paid for it to make her more so like eye candy.
Yeah, here's
to make her appeal more to the men in the audience.
Well, she didn't really need it though, man.
Well,
let me tell you, man. I would bet on her.
Who's to say we didn't see her before?
True, man, but like they're starting up a brand new show and they're like, nah, you're not hot enough. Here, go get some bigger tits.
You never know.
I don't know, man.
Fucked up. I mean, it's very unlikely. You'd think that she would sue or something.
Yeah, you'd think she would, but
But that's sort of like you'd think that Bret Hart would sue over the creative control thing. Screw job.
You think he would, but
But does that make it a work? I don't necessarily think so. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Certain people think that it is, but I don't necessarily do.
I honestly could care less one way or the other.
That's true. It was so fucking long ago at this point.
Yeah.
And obviously they've like made amends and shit.
Yeah, but
anyway, we're getting way off topic.
We are, man. Shit. I forgot what we were gonna talk about. Oh yeah, shitting in hats. Hey.
No, I remember what we were gonna talk about. And funny enough, it is kind of related to Yogi Bear.
Which is
it's about camp.
Oh right. Yes.
So if you're not careful at camp, you might see a bear shitting in your hat.
Hurry up, Yogi, I gotta poop. Hey, wait your turn, you little bastard. Hey.
Find your own hat.
Hey, I got the hat. Go take a shit on his desk. Right,
Can you imagine just how much shit a bear would produce? Like shitting in someone's hat. Oh my god, that would be awful.
Can you imagine if like Yogi Bear just got like his brain like switched with an elephant and did that? Like I don't know if you've ever seen an elephant take a shit, but A, it's fucking hysterical. And like each turd is like it's like the size of a fucking coffee can. Like I remember going to the zoo one day and there's an elephant taking a piss and it's like a fucking waterfall of piss. Next thing you know, the thing's like turning around. I'm like, oh my god, that was fucking hysterical. There's no way you could top that. Turns around, ass opens up, bang, bang, and like it doesn't make like a splat noise. I mean, it just sounds like a fucking like just a lead weight just like hits the fucking ground and just boom. That's it.
Just like
anything that was underneath. Like if he took a shit, like if a mouse was like scurrying along the floor at that exact moment and got hit by the shit, forget it. The mouse is like now part of the concrete. I'm telling you,
it's like the fucking barrels in Donkey Kong.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've been to the zoo, and two of the funniest moments in my entire life at the zoo have happened because of something shitting. Like there was the elephant shit.
Not surprising.
No, there was the elephant shitting, and then I was walking by the penguin tank, and I was like, "Hey, we'll peep out the penguins. Why the hell not?" And all of a sudden, I see this penguin like ruffling its feathers and whatnot. I'm like, "The fuck is he doing?" Next thing I know, I see like this gray thing like just shoot right out of his ass. I'm like, "Oh my god, he took a shit!" At that exact moment, there was a penguin swimming right around that area. Shit hit him right on the head. I was like, "Ah! Ah!"
Oh my god. So a penguin shit on another penguin's head.
Yeah, a penguin shit on another penguin's head.
That's awesome.
It was, man. I thought it was fucking hysterical. I damn near pissed myself.
This was probably before the invention of smartphones, or even before your procurement of one.
Well, no, I had a flip phone, but I was like, oh, I fucking wish I had gotten video of that. That would have been hysterical. But even then, like the video quality would have been absolute dog shit, and you wouldn't have been able to see it anyways.
Maybe not.
So you would have been going like, you fat liar.
There's no poop there.
There's no penguin taking a shit here, you liar.
I call penguin shit.
Yeah, I call bear shit on that one. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about camp. Yeah,
A special kind of camp.
Jesus camp.
Jesus loves the little children.
Yeah, so I gotta tell you about this movie because it kind of scared the piss out of me, but it made me fucking laugh my ass off as well.
I'm pretty sure that I've heard of it, and I may have seen a trailer for it, but...
All right, for those that don't know what we're talking about, we're talking about this documentary called Jesus Camp, and it's a documentary that came out, I want to say like 2007, 2008-ish, but basically it focuses on a camp of evangelical Christians, like not like camp in the sense of like everybody. Well, yeah, actually it does kind of mean the traditional sense. It's basically like a camp for kids that go to become more evangelical Christian-y. Like promote more of their love for Jesus. And it scared me because in the sense of like, you know, I didn't see a difference between that and like, you know, like the Taliban, like giving bombs to kids and whatnot, saying go blow that shit up in the name of Allah. I'm like, what the this lady is fucking nuts.
How is that similar though?
It's similar in the sense of like she's telling people like, you know, you need to love Jesus, otherwise you're going to hell, and it's like just like beating this into their fucking heads, and basically saying like, look, it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. They're wrong. You love Jesus, you're always right. So they share that common bond in that sense. Like obviously I'm not saying that they're going around giving these kids bombs and we're like, go blow this up for Jesus.
I was gonna say like
but like
Jesus loves you.
But no, like I mean this film just like pretty much like just shits on everything that kids love in a sense. Like there's God, what the hell was it? No, all right. So it's basically this lady. I forget her fucking name, but she runs this camp called Kids on Fire or something like that, which is a great name for a fucking camp. Nothing could go wrong there, right? So yeah, I mean, the name first of all is fucked up. And second of all,
it's accurate. It's about Jesus.
Yeah, it's about Jesus, but I don't see any kids that are on fire.
What?
Yeah, there are no children
on fire.
No kid. Yeah, the name of the camp is Kids on Fire. I believe that's the name of the camp.
Oh, I thought you were saying like I was seeing kids on fire. Like...
No, that would have been fucking hysterical in a sense, but
Jesus loves you.
Jesus wants you. Jesus wants you to be a marshmallow. Ah!
I admit that would be a very fucked up documentary.
Yeah. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so I got more of the details here. I just kind of looked them up because, fuck it, it's been a while since I've seen them.
Wikipedia, Google.
IMDb. Ass. So, the name of the lady that runs it, her name is Becky Fisher, and the name of the camp is Kids on Fire, which I was right about. Yay.
Something.
But yeah, it's she. There were two scenes that really like stick out in my mind involving her, and
Do you know how old she is? At least roughly.
I could find out. Yeah. Blah 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 blah. Oh, when was she born? Fuck it, doesn't have it. Who cares? Fuck it, she's a cunt anyways.
Oh, she's a cunt.
Yeah, deceased vagina. But I mean, she fits the typical mold of like that stereotypical evangelical like Christian woman that's like Jesus, pro-life, and blah 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 blah. Just like fat Southerner, fucked up like Guy Fieri looking hair.
Guy Fieri looking hair.
Yeah, it has like that spiked like fucking like platinum blonde hair. It just just really has nothing better to do with her life. So, let me tell you, man, these kids are fucking young. These kids are like between like 4 and I would say like 12 years old. Exactly. And here they are crying for Jesus. We love Jesus. Like,
yikes.
I'm like, holy shit.
Like Children of the Corn shit or something.
That's what I was thinking, man. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, like there's actually a couple of scenes that stick out in my head. One of them, she's talking to two kids that are going to be going to the camp. She's asking like, so what made you become Christian? Blah 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 blah. And one kid, I swear to God, you can even go and watch this because it's fucking blood boiling in a sense.
Oh no.
He goes, well, I was saved when I was 5 years old because, nothing in life really seemed very important, and I wanted more out of life. I'm like, who the fuck gets bored of life by the age of 5?
No kidding.
Like, you barely remember shitting your pants.
Seriously.
Like, 5 years old, you haven't even fucking lived yet. You haven't even fingered a fucking chick yet. Like, at least wait until you have some fucking regrets first, man. Like, at least wait till you're, like, 16 if you want to do that.
Very few people have problems before the age of, like, 15.
Exactly.
Very few.
You're a fucking child. Like, what happened that you were so bored with life? Well, I didn't do good in T-ball.
I lost, when I played the baseball game on Nintendo. Fucking Starman kicked my ass again.
I couldn't beat the last level in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Life sucks.
Yeah,
My lunchbox is not the appropriate character.
I'm like, dude, I didn't realize life really sucked until I kind of got to middle school. Even then, I was just like, this is kind of fucked up. Maybe I can do something about it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But I mean, that was for a whole different fucking reason, though.
Yeah.
I was getting into fights like pretty much every day in like 6th grade, and like got into a couple of fights in 8th grade. But I
remember talking about this in a recent podcast.
Yeah, we were.
You're like, I fought a lot.
A lot. A lot. But yeah, I'm just like, what? Who? What child? I was like, what fucking child is bored of life by the age of fucking 5?
No child, in my opinion.
No child.
I don't think it's possible. I don't see how that is possible whatsoever.
Neither do I. But here's the thing, man. The parents fucking encourage this. They're like, oh, you want Jesus? Okay, let's go pray to Jesus. And I was like, let the kid go play outside or something, man. Like, give him a fucking imagination.
Let him go shit in somebody's hat.
Yeah, exactly. God. Exactly, man. Go let him live with the fucking bears for a year.
Maybe not to that extent. Wasn't there people who like went and lived with bears and like got eaten or some shit?
Yeah, there was something, I forget what, there was some documentary about that. I can't remember what it's called, but essentially the guy was living with bears for, I think it was like a year or something like that, showing how, oh, they're gentle, majestic creatures and blah blah blah, and apparently at the end of the movie they fucking killed him.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, okay.
I never saw it, but I heard about.
Hey, he was delicious. I turned him into the poop that went into the hat. It's like I'm some type of shit magician. Hey.
Presto.
Presto changeo. Hey.
Plop, plop.
So another one of the scenes that kind of like stands out in my head is she it shows her like watching video of well, let me backtrack a little bit. She's basically telling these kids like, listen, you kids have the power to change the world, which, hey, great message for the kids. Work towards something. Do something with your life. Excellent message right there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, with the power of Jesus and we can pull together and take back America for all the Christians, the true believers of Christ. I'm like, okay, we just took a left turn there. Oh,
Take over America?
Yeah, take over America. I was just
Take back America.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay then.
That's a little scary.
That is quite scary. She's like, don't be like one of these Christians that are fat and lazy, sitting on their couches watching TV. Next thing I know, fucking boom, there's the next scene of her sitting on her couch in her house watching TV, and did I mention she's fucking fat?
That's awesome.
I'm just like, well, pot in the fucking kettle right there, man.
Oh my god. That is so crazy.
It is, man. It's
so who made this documentary? Was it someone who went into it with the intentions of just like exposing them, or with the intentions of like, hey, this is what we do? Like,
I don't think so. I mean, here's the thing, man. She like the filmmakers like don't inject themselves into the documentary. They're just like, look, we're gonna set up cameras, we're gonna film everything, just be yourselves. They don't insert their opinions. They don't, they don't interject in anything. But like they don't give like their point of view on shit.
Yeah,
they're just like, fuck it, you guys do whatever.
I only ask because I wonder if there's any sort of bias there, like if they're trying to make them look crazy, now that they need help.
Trust me, I don't think they need help looking crazy.
I'm just saying, I mean, you know as well as anybody that video editing can go a long way.
It can, but
at the same time, when people say things as crazy as "Take Back America for the Christians," if that is the actual quote, that's a bit, that's like calling for a call to arms or something. It's a little strange for a Christian.
Yeah.
Peace and love, and fucking kill them all. Kill them all until they're all Christians. Kill them all.
Hello, Satan.
But we love you all.
Yes. Like, dude, here...
As you die.
God damn it, I wish I could do that. You prick. It's like, finally, a voice I could do.
Artificially, but yes, yay.
It's a performance enhancer.
It's like sort of like, marijuana for, RVD, or, steroids for Alex
baseball.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, exactly.
It's however you want to view it.
But yeah, dude, I'm looking at some of the quotes right now. Like, here's one of the quotes, man, from this pastor lady, if you can call her that. She says, "I can go to a playground of kids that don't know anything about Christianity, lead them to the Lord in a matter of just no time at all, and just moments later, they can be seeing visions and hearing the voice of God because they're so open. They're so usable in Christianity."
Uh-huh.
And here you are thinking like, wow, maybe the filmmakers did some editing and, made them sound crazy. Like,
No, that's a little crazy right there. They can see visions and hear. I'm sorry, but all the, seeing visions and hearing things, I'm sorry, but that's fucking crazy. Do you know who sees visions and hears things.
Crazy people.
Crazy people. I don't care what religion you think it is because of. If you're seeing visions, you're crazy.
Yeah, dude. Here's the thing too. Like, there's scenes of them in the camp, and the fucking church ladies like leading them, like speaking in tongues, and just like you see these kids like crying, just shaking on the ground. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Seriously.
And I mean, like, speaking in tongues, like, you remember the you ever see the video on YouTube, the farting preacher?
Oh yeah. I love that shit.
That kind of speaking in tongues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was some other guy too that did like the healing, where like he'd touch them and they'd fall over, like Benny Hinn or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Somebody interjected like Street Fighter quotes, I think. Like, he would
I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, it's funny. He would like touch him on the forehead, like, Jesus loves you, Hadouken! And they just fall over. And they would just fall over.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
It is,
I
man.
haven't seen that.
It is, man. I freaking love it.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Now I know what I'm doing after the podcast. Thank you, Andy.
No problem, Bruce.
Well, to be fair, ordering dinner then.
Well, yeah.
Then I'll check out the
Let's be
menu.
fair about this.
Let's be fair here. I am fat.
Let's be a little realistic here.
Come on, I gotta get my 6th meal of the day and then go pray to Jesus here. And start my army. I mean, fellowship, brotherhood, cult.
Hey, Satan, have you seen the documentary yet or no?
I haven't. No.
No, really? All right. I thought this was gonna be up your alley. Just be like looking at all these goofy fucking kids.
No, I don't spend time on the Jesus bullshit.
It kind of reminds me of a joke. You up for a joke?
I'm always up for a joke.
Okay, here we go. So, an engineer dies, goes to hell, and sees that hell is just boiling over because there's no air conditioning. He goes, he fixes the air conditioner. He sees that the rivers are just flooded with shit. So he fixes the toilets, gets rid of them, backing up and whatnot. And, one day God looks down into hell and sees that everybody's happy. And he goes down to talk to the devil. He's like, why is everybody happy here? And he's like, well, that engineer that you sent down here was a really big help. He fixed the air conditioner, fixed the septic and whatnot. He's a cool guy, man. Everybody loves him. And God's like, wait, I didn't send any engineer down here. Like, if you don't send him back up to heaven, I'm going to sue you. The devil starts laughing. The devil says, where are you going to find a lawyer? But,
That was terrible.
Yeah, I know. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to watching Jesus Camp now.
Oh, yeah, you're finally going to go watch it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. That thing's a better joke than I could ever tell.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. That would have been cool, though. I would have loved to have interviewed Satan if he had seen that, but, let him go watch his shit.
He's got to get up to date here.
Yeah.
He's behind the times.
Yeah. He's way behind him.
He's got a lot of shit to do, I mean,
he's a busy guy, man.
He's a very busy guy.
Yeah, I can't say I blame him, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I thought the whole thing was just fucking hysterical in a sense. But it was
sad and scary.
But it was also sad and scary that like here are these kids essentially being brainwashed in a sense. Jesse Ventura brought up a really, really good point. In the sense of, if you want to see who a real believer of Jesus is and like that Jesus will save them, go into battle with them. So he asked him, like, well, what do you mean? He's like, when somebody's shooting at you, you're ducking and covering. Like, you're trying to get out of the line of fire. He's like, if these guys believe in that Jesus will save them as much as they think they do, wouldn't they just, like, start walking towards the gunfire saying, no, Jesus is going to protect me, and they'd be protected? I'm like, son of a bitch is right.
So he's not a Christian, then I take it.
No, he's an atheist.
I thought as much.
Yep. and hopefully running for president soon.
Really?
Yeah.
He's going to run for president?
He said he would do it on a few conditions. Like, number one, he's like, you got to have equal time as far as, like, debates go. He's like, number two, he's like, we got to do this the right way. No, he's like, I don't want to have any, like, campaign backers or anything like that. He's like, if anybody sends money in, it's going to go, like, right to a charity or something like that. And he said, and number three, he's like, Howard Stern has to be my vice president.
Oh, that'll never happen then.
Well, Howard was even intrigued by it. He's like, well, wait, why me? He's like, I've never been. He's like, the closest I've been to politics is like I ran for governor of New York, and I was doing good, and then I dropped out of the race. But he was like, well, look, you have your satellite radio show. That's pretty much all the exposure. He's like, that's free publicity for our campaign. We don't have to spend money on TV or radio ads or anything like that. He's like, people will know it. People will be talking about it. He's like, and really, like, you and I wouldn't be able to hang out because, okay, president and vice president can't really hang out together because, screw it, in case one of them gets shot.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, all you'd have to do, just, make a speech here, make a speech there, make a couple of appearances. That's really all you have to do.
Yeah, but that's still kind of a really shitty way to pick a vice president, I think. Surely the vice president does more than just appearances and shit like that. I can't imagine one person doing the job of both of those jobs.
Yeah, I don't imagine
it just seems like a lot of shit to fill.
Yeah, but then again, fucking you and I aren't exactly in the political game, so we don't exactly know.
Well, that's true. Yeah. But then again, what does Jesse Ventura know about being president? Then again, what does anybody know about being president except for people who are presidents?
Well, then again, I mean, he was governor of Minnesota.
That's true. He was governor of Minnesota.
Not only that, he ran on an independent ticket, and he fucking won in a landslide.
Yeah. A rushler.
Let me tell you something, Bruce. I played the political game, and I kicked its ass. I ain't got time to bleed, but I sure as hell got time to be the governor, and I did a damn good job. You know the Minnesota Twins?
Didn't he save the Minnesota Twins?
I did, and you're welcome.
What a waste of time and effort.
Well, dude, it was great because he made Bud Selig look like a fucking bitch. It's like, here the Twins like, oh, we're broke, and I don't know how much longer. And he's like, if you guys are so broke, why did you sign these guys to multi-million-dollar contracts, and how are you still able to pay them? And Bud Selig's just like, fuck it, I don't know. I have to go shit my pants.
Great way to run a ball club.
Yeah. Dude, the other thing about Jesus Camp, I wanted to bring this up real quick too, was does the name Ted Haggard ring a bell at all or no?
I feel like it should.
Okay. For those that don't know, I'll give a little I'll give a little background of Ted Haggard. He was an evangelical preacher in Colorado, and just famous for like just slamming gays and just saying, this is bad with life, and you should promote, pro-life, and we are evangelicals, all of us vote, we can take the election back for this country and for America the way it should be, and blah blah blah. But the thing that was funny, like he was busy slamming the gays and whatnot. What do you think happened to him?
He got, I don't know, butt raped?
Possibly, but he was there was a male prostitute that came forward and said, "Look, I've been meeting up with this guy and having gay sex with him." Not only that, apparently there was like a second one, I believe, that came forward and said, like, "Yeah, he's been calling me too."
No shit.
Not only that, but apparently he was buying crystal meth, and when he got caught with it, he was like, "Well, it's not for me. I bought it to throw it out."
He bought it to throw it out.
Yeah, which I'm like, come on, dude, cut this shit. Nobody's believing you in that one.
Who's gonna spend? God, wow.
So here's the thing. So he gets kicked out of his church for all this shit, and he apparently goes to some like Pray the Gay Away Bible camp or something like that.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. And
It's so sad that those exist.
It is, and it's just like, look, dude, just embrace.
That's really like a few steps away from a concentration camp.
It pretty much is, man.
They're not killing them, but they are.
Yeah, I just picture you just like getting slammed on the head with a Bible, like, you love women.
Seriously. I can't even imagine what the methodology is there.
Neither can I, man.
Yikes.
It's scary.
It really is. Have you ever heard of a Judas cradle?
Judas Cradle, name sounds familiar. I don't really recall, though.
It was a medieval torture device that was invented by Christians that they would sit people on. It was basically just this big brass metal spike thing that they would heat up, and then they would sit you on it, and over time, like, it would go up your ass and eventually kill you.
Oh.
And yeah, you can thank the Christians for that one. And yet all this talk about, don't put your dick in somebody's ass.
Yeah.
We'll shove a big metal spike up yours.
But don't
If you
forget,
think about it.
we're also doing this because we love you.
Yeah.
It's like, cut this shit.
So yeah.
Yeah, and all right, because now I'm on my fucking soapbox here. Shit. I was kind of hoping to avoid being on it, but fuck it. I hate being on my soapbox, but the part where he's talking about like, we can win the election back, blah 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 blah. It's like, well, look, dude, we have this thing called separation of church and state. Okay, so
seriously,
believe it or not, like I was reading this up. There's like 6 states, which if you're an atheist, you cannot run for local government.
What?
Exactly.
In 6 states?
There's like 6 states. It's mostly like southern states. I think it's like Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina.
Still, that's more than 10%.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, just because you're an atheist, you cannot run for local office in those states.
Wow.
It's fucked up, I know, man.
That's crazy. I mean, Bible Belt, but still.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like you want to slam them over the head and say, look, we have this thing called separation of church and state, saying you guys want to believe in what you want to believe, go for it. Don't bring it into our politics, which unfortunately it has been. But my point of it being, okay, these churches don't want to pay taxes or anything like. We got religious, exemption. How about this? You guys want to play in the political game? You guys pay the fucking entrance fee like everybody else. Pure and simple.
Seriously.
Seriously, man. Like, religion's raking billions upon billions of dollars a year. And,
from the government.
Yeah, from the fucking government. And, fuck it, I guarantee you, if they fucking pay back, like, all their taxes and whatnot, I guarantee you, we'd still probably be in national debt, but it wouldn't be as much as it is.
I don't know.
I have no
figures are. I'm not a financial anything.
Just like any politician, I have no math to support this.
Exactly. I have no math to support this whatsoever.
And just like a Christian, nor do I have any facts.
Oh man.
But
I mean, here's the thing with me. Like, I think over the years I used to define as atheist, but I've come to define as agnostic, in that I'm not willing to accept that there is nor that there isn't. But
yeah,
the thing with being an atheist is that it's sort of, again, like I have kind of a sort of scientific mind in some ways, and in science you can't prove a negative. So it's kind of hard to be like, he doesn't exist because there's no proof. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that God doesn't exist. So right. I'm sort of like, but at the same time, I don't care either.
Well, yeah,
I don't live any differently with the thought that there might be a God or that there might not be.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the sense though. Like, if Christians say, "Oh, God is real. God is real." How do you know? Well, you can't prove it that He isn't. Well, how do you know God isn't like that giant flying spaghetti monster? Well, that's just ridiculous. But how do you know? You can't prove it, right? So how do you know? So that's the messed up thing about religion. So
yeah,
but yeah, I think you're taking more like Pendulette's side in the sense of being agnostic, where you're just like, I don't know. You're just like you don't answer yes, you don't answer no. You're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I add on, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
Like Yeah, I'll relate myself as atheist because I'm like, all right, you know what, man, I'm more of like, you know what, if something does exist, supposedly, show me. You know, and there things that have happened that, you know, defy explanation or scientific reason? Yeah, possibly. But
Do you believe in ghosts?
do I believe in ghosts? No.
Me neither.
No, I think once you're dead, you're in the ground, that's it.
Yeah,
I don't
me too.
believe-
Because I mean, so many people like they're into this ghost shit. It's like they pick certain people or certain things. Like they're like, okay, this battlefield, is a battlefield that happened during the Civil War, and if you're here late at night, you can see, a Civil War guy walking around in his uniform. Okay, and so then a team shows up and they video and they, have that fucking infrared or whatever, the FLIR cameras and shit, and then sure enough, something walks by and it looks like a guy in the uniform from the Civil War era. But the thing is, like, you're cherry picking. Because what about anything else that field has seen? Any animal, bug, any other human, any other battle? Like, for all you know, anything else could have happened there. What about anything else that died in that area? Is everything a ghost? No. So you're cherry picking. You're like, this is, but that isn't.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too. Like, I've seen an episode of Ghost Hunters because, before Asshole and I had the falling out, he's like, dude, you got to check out the show. It's pretty good. So I check out an episode, and it's basically, he's like, oh my god, did you see that? Did you see that? There's a ghost. It's a ghost. Meanwhile, it's like a piece of dust flying in front of the fucking camera. They're like, oh my god, did you see that? That's what we call a plasma flare, and it basically shows like something is walking in front of the camera. And they're like, we have this audio recording of a little girl screaming, help me, or something like that. And it's just, it's very faint. It's like, oh. It's
yeah.
Like, okay, that could be a lot of fucking things. That could be creaky floors. That could even be some schmuck off camera just like screaming that or something.
It could be somebody jerking off in the next room for all we know.
What the hell?
Hey, boo boo. Let's go jerk off in the other room while they're filming the ghost show.
Let's go jerk off in the hat.
Ookie hat. Instead of ookie cookie.
They're fucking ridiculous, man. They really are.
Yeah. I don't really believe in anything paranormal or any of that shit.
Yeah, I don't believe it either. It's honestly, yeah, it's entertaining in the sense of like.
Oh, sure.
Like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Do I believe all that shit? No.
Yeah, I mean it's good fun. It's kind of a cheap scare, but
yeah, but
you got to believe that there's something more to it.
Yeah, it's you got to believe that there is an afterlife, I think, in order to believe in that shit, or at least be in the ballpark of believing in it.
Yeah. But what I think is the saddest thing about it is that people will emulate it and go out and like spend all night with a fucking camera in the woods, just like sitting in the woods, getting their hat shit in, waiting for a ghost, and then nothing happens. Like people are emulating this and wasting their time. And I mean, some people are coming up with footage, and they're like, "Oh, look, we got ghosts and shit," and they're forming their own, ghost societies or whatever. Go on Craigslist, man. It's sad. You'll see ghost hunter shit advertised up there, like left and right.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, really? Like you're really wasting your time going out into the woods or to some abandoned house or some shit, like filming and recording stuff? Really?
Yeah.
Do you have nothing better to do?
And it's kind of like those people that believe in like Bigfoot and like the Loch Ness monster and whatnot.
Yeah.
And like there are people that have wasted thousands and thousands of dollars trying to find these things, and they still haven't found them. They're like, well, we know they're out there. We know they're out there. It's like bullshit. Bullshit. The fucking scientists have sent out like a sonar thing in the fucking water where the Loch Ness monster is, the Isle of Loch, if you will.
Yes.
And like they've sent out sonar, they've done like just pretty much like everything you could do minus like draining the entire fucking body of water and just saying like, look, there's nothing there.
Seriously. I think someone did recently supposedly find a video or something, or like supposedly Nessie resurfaced or something.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, cut that shit, dude.
Seriously. Oh my gosh.
Not only that, man, but you'd think like, okay, they're like, well, this thing lays eggs. Like, so where's the other one? Like, I was taught, like, guy, girl have to get together and essentially fuck, fertilize the eggs. There's the eggs. They hatch. Ta-da.
Oh, man.
So that to me says, okay, there's got to be at least 2 of them, unless this thing reproduces asexually, which is kind of disturbing. But even if they did, man, no doubt there'd be more than 1 egg, right?
You'd think.
In theory.
I mean, unless it just popped out of fucking nowhere. I mean, what, did some elephant come along and shit out an egg or something?
It just took a dump. There it is. It's Nessie's egg. Why is it all brown? Racist.
Oh, man.
You jerk.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because this is all reminding me of a really funny quote from Bill Hicks. Would you mind if I share it?
Why not? You let me tell that joke earlier. Thanks.
It's kind of long, but not really that long. But it's about fundamentalist Christianity.
Go for it, man.
All right. So the quote is, fundamentalist Christianity, fascinating. These people actually believe that the world is 12,000 years old. Swear to God. Based on what? I asked them. Well, we looked at all the people in the Bible, and we added them all up, all the way back to Adam and Eve, their ages, 12,000 years. Oh, well, how fucking scientific. Okay, I didn't know you'd gone to all that trouble there. That's good. So you believe the world's really 12,000 years old? That's right. Okay, I got one word to ask you. Just one word question. Okay. Dinosaurs. The the world's 12,000 years old. Dinosaurs existed in that time. You'd think it would be mentioned in the Bible, like, and the Jesus and the disciples walked to Nazareth, but the trail was blocked by a giant brontosaurus with a splinter in its paw. And the disciples did run screaming, ooh, what a big fucking lizard lord.
It's almost like like Lewis Black, and he's like talking about, how there's fossils that tell us that, the earth is older than it really is, existence of dinosaurs. He's like, when I mentioned fossils, and he's like, I remember after some show, he's like, down in the South, some guy came up to me, he's like, Mr. Black, fossils are the handiwork of the devil. He's like, so in my head, I'm picturing there's the devil making all these fossils, telling his little apostles to go and fucking hide them because it's some great practical joke. And, like, if anybody denies the existence of dinosaurs, again, I reach into my pocket and I pull out a fossil and I say, fossil.
and then I throw it at their heads.
And if they keep talking, I throw it just over their head.
Bill Hicks has a similar thing about that, where he's like, when people, sometimes will come back at me when I say fossil, and they're like, oh, that's just Jesus or the Lord, messing with us or testing us or whatever. And he's like, doesn't that kind of scare you? Like the Lord, like, here, I'll try to make them think I don't believe. Ha ha ha, that'll get them. Like, doesn't that, like, worry anybody? Like, that kind of God? Like, just, prankster God running around hiding fossils on people? Does that not scare people?
Not only that, I think the bigger, like, the scarier thing to think about, like, I'm sure, like, you've been to a funeral before, right? And you've probably heard the line, like, oh, it's part of God's plan. That's why the person is dead.
Right.
So you mean to tell me Jesus, like, God has this entire, like, laid out plan. It's perfectly planned. But in order for it to go off, that person has to die at that exact moment. Otherwise the entire thing goes to shit.
Pretty much.
That's a bunch of shit.
That is pretty specific.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
we just need another soul to fuel the strip club in heaven. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you feel back as, like, you hear about, like, these stories of, like, these parents, they're not able to conceive a kid. They're able to conceive a child and whatnot. And, like, something happens, like, let's say it's born early or something like that, and it's on ventilation, fucking just, incubation, all that shit. And, the child ends up dying or something like that. Like, how cold do you have to be to tell somebody, like, well, it's part of God's plan? Like, great, God had this whole plan laid out, as I was saying before. In order for it to go off without a fucking hitch, he's got to pull this great master prank of, like, oh, you can't have a kid? Here's one. Oh, by the way, I'm taking it back.
Seriously.
Like, seriously, what a dick. He's got the worst PR department ever.
You mean me?
No, No, you actually have the better one, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's true. Go AC/DC.
Hey, Satan.
Yeah.
For those about to rock,
Fire!
we salute you!
I love that shit.
So do I. It's so good. Thank you very much for that, by the way.
But a little bit better than that is probably Dio.
Yes, raise the horns, my friend.
Satan joins us again.
Yep. Yeah. Satan, will you come back on a future podcast and hang out with us?
Yeah, maybe. It's possible. Depends on my schedule. But,
Yeah.
I think I can squeeze it in somewhere.
All right. All right, man. Yeah, if you got the time, man. Yeah, I understand. You're a busy guy. It's all good.
I'm just picturing Satan with like a fucking pen and paper, just like, let's see.
Yeah, like things to do: torture people, set people on fire, join two fat guys on a podcast.
Seriously,
like which one of these things doesn't belong here?
Where do we fit into this agenda here? How important are we?
Not very, apparently.
Seriously. I was like, I got better shit to do than that. Fuck you. Fuck you both. I'm gonna go shit in a hat now.
I'm gonna use God's robe to wipe.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right, man. I think that's gonna do it for us this week on STS Radio. Bruce, you got anything to plug, man?
No, nothing at all. You know I'm terrible at the plugs, sir.
Yeah,
Come on.
I know. I know.
This is just like beating me into the ground.
Oh, man. All right, so don't forget, you can check out past episodes of STS Radio on Spreaker.com. Just search STS Radio. Again, you'll have no fucking problem. Also, you can check us out on iTunes. You can check us out on YouTube. Search for the username The STS Radio. You can also check out our friends over at the Mike and Billy Show on Spreaker, on Stitcher, and I believe they're up on iTunes as well. And don't forget, you can check out our buddy Mike from the Mike and Billy Show on the show Wicked Bites. Wicked Bites, which you can find on channel Nesson. Just search your local listings for a time. So, booyah.
Booyah.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for us. So long, everybody.